Pep Talk UK, Pro Beez and the German Whip, repping the Pep Talk boys. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that to Pep Talk UK. So we are on the eve of the Europa League final, Arsenal versus Chelsea, the London derby in Azerbaijan. It's in Baku. Wow. Now this game, you can look at it from two angles in terms of what it means to both clubs. Now, Sarri, there's been many questions about him keeping his job as Chelsea manager. A lot of speculation about Frank Lampard coming in as Chelsea boss. So even though he has qualified for the Champions League through the Premier League, perhaps Roman Abramovich needs him to pick up some silverware. We don't quite know what the remit is for Sarri, but a lot of Chelsea fans have been unhappy with this Sarri ball. They've been unhappy with Sarri's attitude. They've been unhappy with some of Chelsea's performances. I mean, I recall one game with them losing 3-0 to Bournemouth. Now, that is unheard for Chelsea, a team that for years have been very defensively sound. Chelsea have always been that kind of bastard team. Hard to beat, a team that is very resilient, a team that's very, very physical. Sarri, a lot of critics have said Sarri has made Chelsea a bit like Arsenal. You know, a team that's very attractive on the eye, very attacking, but ultimately have or consist of a weak centre and a weak spine. Now, I would think that Abramovich will be looking for Sarri to win this trophy. Otherwise, my honest opinion is Lampard will be coming in to Chelsea. Or even talk of Allegri, who's not going to be staying at Juventus. And for me, he's a Chelsea boss all around. I mean, he's a manager that's won European trophies, a man that knows how to organise a team and get the team to fulfil the objectives of the club. Arsenal, what does it mean to Arsenal? Well, it means everything. It means the Holy Grail. It means the champions. Yeah, it means listening to that music on a Wednesday night instead of coming out to some dead music in the Europa League. And the Champions League is where it's at financially. I mean, for players, this is where they want to play. It's the biggest cup competition in the world. And for Arsenal to attract players of the highest order in terms of financially, in terms of sporting ambition, they need to qualify for the Champions League. And this is not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. You know, it's not going to be an easy game for Arsenal. But if you were to assess Unai Emery, his season compared to Sarri, well, has he done well? If you look at the stats, obviously he's accumulated more points in the Premier League. And Arsenal, you know, despite them blowing it, they almost did reach the Champions League. But for a couple of bad results in the league, they could have actually qualified for the Champions League already. And this game against Chelsea would have just been for that trophy, that European trophy. And Arsenal haven't won a European trophy since 1994. I think that was an Alan Smith goal against the great Parma side, including Gianfranco Zola, and I think Tino Asprilla as well. So it's been a long time coming for Arsenal. They reached the Champions League final many years ago when Sol Campbell headed Arsenal in front, a 10-man Arsenal at the time, and they were breached by the brilliance of Samuel Eto'o and Belletti from Barcelona, catching out Manuel Umunia at the near post. So there hasn't been any European glory for Arsenal, but I think the key thing is the board of Arsenal, if they're to release more transfer funds, that Arsenal need to win this game. Now, this game in particular poses questions for me about both teams defensively. Now, Arsenal's defence is absolutely shocking. Let me go on record to say that. Now, as an Arsenal fan, I can talk about how bad this defence is. conceding in almost every single game. I think is it literally 1 clean sheet, I think it is, away from home for the whole season. I mean, that is really poor. Admittedly, Arsenal's attack is it is potent with Lacazette, Aubameyang, absolute potent front two. But Arsenal will need to defend a lot better. And as you saw in the game at the Emirates where Arsenal beat Chelsea, courtesy of Lacazette, scored a wonder goal. Arsenal defended a lot better, but ultimately Unai Emery produced a tactical masterclass in terms of Aaron Ramsey playing that role where he was pushing forward from midfield and also stopping the quarterback of Chelsea, Jorginho, being allowed to dictate the play from the back. So Arsenal, as a team, we all know they're going to have to defend in numbers. I worry for Arsenal in the fullback position, Maitland-Niles on the right-hand side, and also Nacho Monreal or Kolasinac, depending on the system that Unai Emery wants to play. They're really, really vulnerable at the back. And when Arsenal get turned, as you saw against the game against Leicester when they lost 3-0, when they've got pacey players faced against them, they are very, very fragile defensively. And what better player to produce pace, brilliance, and endanger the Arsenal defence than Eden Hazard? Yes, potentially in his last game for Chelsea, this man is a match winner on a world level. Truly Messi-esque, I call him. A man that has the ball almost glued to his feet when he makes them runs, and he's really had a productive season. 16 goals in the Premier League, 15 assists, his best season yet. No doubt about it, and that is 100% statistically valid. So, as well as Arsenal being a bit fragile defensively, so are Chelsea. And I say that because if you look at Chelsea's defence, they have David Luiz, a man who resembles Sideshow Bob. You know, can you take him seriously at the back? I don't know. He has started to defend better over the years than when he first came to Chelsea and he was trying to be a baller from the back and always losing the ball and costing Chelsea goals. He is a suspect. And then you've got young Christensen, who lacks a bit of pace and lacks a bit of confidence in terms of defending, and he will need to be on his guard against Lacazette, Aubameyang, two superb strikers. Aubameyang with 31 goals in all competitions this season. So Chelsea have problems of their own defensively, and there's talk of N'Golo Kante, who Cesare has decided to make attacking midfielder, a transquista. Sorry's made him now. But there's talk of Kante not playing. He's picked up a knock in training this week, and potentially Chelsea could be without a screen for defence that's already shaky. So we saw in the Premier League when Arsenal lost 4-3 to Chelsea at the Bridge in a 7-goal thriller, that both teams, they're good going forward, but both teams are very, very bad at the back. And Chelsea ran out winners that day from outscoring Arsenal. But Arsenal as well scored goals in the Emirates against Chelsea, and again, neither team could muster up a clean sheet. So for me, this game is going to be about who has the match winner and who defends better, and that is defensive. That is defending from the front to the back. Which team will be a bit more solidified in their defensive approach? Chelsea, there's a lack of pressure on Chelsea. They're already in the Champions League. They've already done what they need to do. They're going to be there, Hazard or not. Arsenal, the pressure is going to be insurmountable. It's going to be extremely high for the players. And will Arsenal respond to that pressure? There's questions. You know, against Crystal Palace when they needed to win, in the Premier League, they didn't do that. Against Brighton, the pressure was extremely bad at home at the Emirates, and they only mustered a draw. So this game is going to be a question of who can defend better. It's a question of Arsenal. Can they find a bottle to get through? Unai Emery will be making sure he has his troops ready, and that's a man that leaves no stone unturned in terms of tactics. And this game will be interesting from many different points of view. I am going for, I know it sounds a bit biased, but I'm going for an Arsenal win 2-0. I just feel like Arsenal need this badly. I just feel like their whole season rested in the Champions League. They need the money as well. Short transfer funds. You know, as a club, Arsenal being out of the Champions League for 3 seasons, which is unheard of. They need to get there. Whereas Chelsea, they're already there. So I feel like Chelsea, even though they'll be playing to win a trophy, some of the players might not be playing to their full potential to maybe get Sarri the sack, or because they're already in holiday mode. Their job is already done. So it's going to be a London derby to be behold in Baku. Arsenal versus Chelsea. I can't wait. Loving the English teams in Europe. Pep Talk UK. Like, share, comment, subscribe and all that. Pro Beez. I'm out.